What's going on, YouTube? Welcome to my channel. This is the Massalorian. It is April 16th, 2021. And I'm making this video tonight, and I waited a few days before I did this because I wanted to make sure I had all of the facts, that I didn't have to screw this up and come back and apologize or correct myself on something I might have said. Unlike CNN, who we see here, are up to their little tricks and putting out a false narrative talking about that this gentleman here, Daunte Wright, who was unfortunately shot and killed in a traffic stop by police officers, talking about that he was pulled over for hanging an air freshener in your car. And unfortunately, in Minnesota, that is true. You can 100% be pulled over for having something hanging from your windshield. I actually went into Minnesota state law and pulled it up, and it does state that no person shall drive or operate any motor vehicle with any object suspended between the driver and the windshield. So, regardless of anything else from the jump, I know Miss Karimi here wants to make it seem like the audacity, but the police have every right to pull you over if you are not following the law and you have something hanging from your rearview mirror. Now, do I think that's a little ridiculous? Yeah, I think that's a stupid law. Okay? All the things people got distracted in these days, I'm not worried about an air freshener hanging from someone's rearview mirror. I'm worried about them watching a movie on their phone in their lap. So it is a little ridiculous. But as I said, I wanted to wait until all the facts came out before I made my opinion on this video and what happened in this police stop. So let's dive into this a little deeper here. So what have we found out since then? We found out that everyone's been saying, I mean, from Daunte's aunt to his mother, that this guy was just a normal, great guy who was a father. He had a young child. This is a tragedy, and it is. I agree. This is a tragedy. This young man lost his life. He wasn't even 21 yet. I mean, it's awful. It's terrible. But to say here that this cop murdered this young man for no reason, for an air freshener, that's where I got a problem. So let's get into this. On the left-hand side of the screen here, I have the dash cam footage pulled up, and I'm going to try to break down this video. So let's open this up. Let's make it nice and big. All right, so what do we have here? So right now we are looking, if you can see in the right-hand corner here, this is actually the outside edge of this officer's body cam, and we are looking through 26-year veteran Kim Potter. This is her camera that we're watching. Now, this gentleman on the right here is a lieutenant. You can tell by his stripes. Now, he's got some gray hair, so I'm assuming this guy's probably in his late 40s, maybe mid 40s. I don't know. My hair's not that gray, but I'm probably a little younger than this guy. But anyways, he's lieutenant. We can tell from his stripes he's lieutenant. So this is the supervisor officer on this traffic stop. And we also have this gentleman here who's walking into the frame. This is a young black police officer. He is a rookie, and he is being trained today by the officer whose camera we are looking through. So let's play this here and see. And just to set the scene for you, so Mr. Wright has been pulled over, and it has been made very clear that Mr. Wright was pulled over because he had a expired registration, okay? All right, so let's watch this and listen. Officer here is going up to the driver's side window. The lieutenant's on the right-hand side. He's engaging with the passenger, which is Mr. Wright's girlfriend. Okay, so let's pause right here. So they have run the expired tags on this car, which I guess is a brand new car. His parents had just bought him. But he's had his name run through police data. They probably called into dispatch already before. And it came back, you can hear it through the muffled sound from the radio, that he has an outstanding warrant. And what is the charge for this warrant? It is gross misdemeanor offense of carrying a weapon without a permit and attempted robbery. Okay, so at this point, we have this footage so far that it's got the audio, right? And we can see exactly what's going on. This young black officer here, who's at the driver's side door in front of Mr. Wright, asked him to step out of the vehicle, put his hands behind his back, which Mr. Wright is complying with. He's following these commands up until this point, okay? But as soon as she says he's got a warrant, let's see immediately what happens after that. Okay, so let's stop right here. The arresting officer here pulls out his handcuffs, right? He's attempting to put this man into custody. And he immediately begins to tense up because Daunte also heard that he has a warrant, which I'm sure he's probably well aware of. You don't have, somebody came and bailed him out and he got a court date. So he was already arrested for this crime. And he knows he has a warrant out for him, okay? So he begins to tense up, and you can clearly hear the officer calmly say, "Don't tense up, bro. Don't do it. Don't you do it." And Daunte says back to him, very clearly you can hear him say, "I'm not doing nothing." So as soon as this exchange happens between the officer and the suspect, Mr. Wright right here is going to attempt to break free from the grasp of this arresting officer, okay? And he's going to lunge back into the front seat where he was driving the car. Okay, so now we know and we can clearly hear as this struggle is occurring, Officer Porter states multiple times, "I'll tase you." Twice she says it to him, and he continues to fight. And as you can see right now, he's sitting in the front seat with his feet on the ground, his hands on the wheel, in a position to start driving away. Now, the other officer has backed away, but that just happened split second ago, okay? If Daunte had another second or two or five to get his car into gear, get his key going, I don't know if the car was still running, he could very easily have grabbed onto that officer. The door could have closed by accident. He could have trapped both of the police officers in between his door. Because what is he about to do? Well, exactly what the police officer was afraid he was going to do. He's going to try and drive away. Now, you can clearly see right here that the officer has her gun in her hand. This is not a taser, okay? This is the, according to the Brooklyn Park Police Department, this is the officer's, this is her primary weapon. It is a Smith & Wesson M&P, and it's her officer-issued firearm. And right now, she is going to pull the trigger and take a shot at the man, thinking she is about to tase him. Not that she is about to murder or kill this man. She just wanted to incapacitate him so he cannot flee from the scene.
Holy shit! I just shot him.
Oh, wow.
Okay, now she backs up. All the officers back up. You can see the lieutenant back up. You can see the young officer who was trying to make the arrest back up. And she says, "Oh shit, I just shot him." Horrible. Horrible, horrible, horrible. And the police officer here, she's got a lot of culpability in this instance. She really does. But so does Mr. Wright. So what went wrong here? What went wrong? Well, there's a few things I noticed while watching this video a couple times. Okay, so here's where my first major problem is, and this is really the biggest thing, because this young police officer, and granted he is a rookie, he's standing in the lane of traffic. You can see his feet are actually in whatever lane of traffic this happens to be right here, whether it's westbound, eastbound, northbound, I don't know. But he's actually in a lane of traffic, okay? And he has the suspect here, Mr. Wright, pulled out right next to his door, right? So he sees literally this window of opportunity to get away. As soon as she says he's got a warrant, of course, in his brain, he doesn't want to get locked up. When you hear those cops come out, you never want to be in cuffs. It is the worst feeling in the world. So I feel for this guy, man, because I wouldn't want to be him. And this right here, it looks like a great idea. Maybe at that time it did. But it really is a horrible idea, because where are you going? You're not going anywhere. You got cops all over the place. The Officer Potter and this young man right here probably came in the same car, and this lieutenant probably has another car. So you have two police cars at the scene. Okay, they're not on bikes. So when you drive away, they're just going to follow you until they catch you. So it was just a really bad decision. I know it might have seemed great at the time. Like, oh, there's a chance. Because he can get back in his car and maybe get away. But it's just not what happened, okay? It's not what happened. And, you know, the narrative just needs to change a little bit. So here's some other things that I found. So here's another thing. This here is a picture of Mr. Wright that I found.
What?
And I don't know if we're going to be able to see it here, but Mr. Wright here, this is another photo. And I know we have that great photo of him with this little kid, and I feel terrible for his young child. But what is he doing here? He's got a blunt in his mouth, okay? He's got a firearm sticking out of his pocket, and he's got a bottle of Hennessy in his hand. So, Mr. Wright's 20 years old, right? In the state of Minnesota, it is not, marijuana is still illegal. They are in the midst of passing legislation right now, but right now, according to state law in Minnesota, you cannot purchase or smoke weed. It is illegal. He's also not 21, so he shouldn't have a bottle of Hennessy in his hand drinking, okay? And I know that happens a lot, but regardless, he's breaking another law right in this picture. He's doing something he shouldn't be doing. And third, he's got a pistol here sticking out of his pocket. This is the pistol to a revolver, so a different gun than he had in the picture before. If we just roll back here for a second, we can see in this shot here. Let me mute this. But we can see he's pointing a gun at the camera right here. Okay, that's a total different gun. That's not the same gun. That there is not a revolver. Not at all. That is some kind of semi-automatic pistol. Here, now you can see the Hennessy. So he's got three major things in this problem. He's not properly holstering his gun. He's under the influence. He's smoking an illegal drug, and he's drinking alcohol under the age of 21. So this narrative they've been pushing since last Tuesday that this is some great family man and he just wanted to raise his daughters. No. He's out there thugging. Don't let him fool you. As much as I feel terrible that this guy got shot and killed, and I think it's horrible for his child, he was not leading this upright, righteous lifestyle that everyone's trying to proclaim out there, okay? Sorry. If this was me in this picture, at that age, I don't think I would have a place to live. My parents would throw me out of the house. And, you know, the whole fact that he's willing to sit there and play Russian roulette with the police on a traffic stop like that, man, you just got to use your head at that point. You know everyone's on edge. You literally got pulled over 5 miles away from where the George Floyd trial is going on. Why would you take a chance like that? You do have a young kid, a young child. You're a young father. Why would you decide at that point it would be a good idea to do that? It's really bad decision making. Clearly. And don't forget, this young man had a warrant because he had tried to pull a robbery on someone. He tried to pull a robbery with a firearm on a woman. They said he choked her out and tried to take her money. Tried to rob her. So, I don't want to hear anymore that he was doing what he was supposed to be doing. No. If he was supposed to be doing what he was supposed to be doing, he would have had his registration. He never would have got pulled over in the first place. And, you know, we wouldn't be having this conversation right now. But he decided, once he knew he was getting arrested, that he wanted to run. He did not want to get arrested. He fought with police. He attempted to get back in the car and drive away. And, you know, if he had caught one of those officers, or the officer got caught up in the door and he drives away, which he did, he could have drugged one of those officers or both of them with him and killed them. So Officer Potter out there was making a choice that she was going to tase this guy. Now, unfortunately, she had her service weapon in her hand and not her taser. And that's on her. That's something I'll touch on in a minute. But I just want to point out here another thing. Chelsea Handler in her Twitter. This is from 2 days ago. Why would any person of color ever comply with a police officer when there is a 50-50 shot of getting accidentally shot? And this is the stupidness of Hollywood. You're out there telling people, don't comply with officers if you got a 50-50 shot of getting shot? How stupid. This is just stupid. She should be banned from Twitter for this kind of rhetoric, okay? Because this is not doing good for anyone. You're telling people that take a chance. Take a chance because you might get shot. It's unbelievable. And then we got Rashida Tlaib here saying that the police are disgusting. When, you know, anyone watching the video knows this woman did not intentionally shoot this man with her gun. She clearly thought she had her taser in her hand. I don't know how. It sounds ridiculous, but just listen to what the woman said. I mean, where is Me Too on this? I don't understand. They just left the girl out in the dock there. Tlaib here is saying no more police incarceration, no more policing, and no more militarization. It can't be reformed. And I find that amusing that Rashida Tlaib is out there saying that when her and the rest of the squad are trying to abolish the police, right? But here's the thing. Joe is out here spilling that he's going to take away the Second Amendment rights. So I would love to know who is going to enforce these new Second Amendment, Second Amendment amendments that you're making to the law. Who is going to enforce that if you abolish the police? Rashida Tlaib's going to be out there searching for 400 million guns in the country? I don't think so. Is AOC going to be out there, or Ayanna Pressley? I doubt it. It's not going to be them doing the job. You need the police, dummy. If you guys want all this gun reform and change, who's going to enforce the law? They just out there flapping their gums, and they don't know what they're talking about. I would love right now, this would be perfect. If you're a police officer in the 13th District in Detroit, Michigan, next week, call in sick Monday. Take Monday to Friday off. Right about when George Floyd's trial is wrapping up. And let's see what happens. Let's see if Rashida Tlaib is really out here saying we don't need the police anymore. I would love to see her come out after we had no police in Detroit for a week. What would her response be afterwards? That worked out well? I doubt it. I doubt that would happen. The bottom line is Daunte Wright would certainly be alive right now if he just accepted the consequences of his arrest, cuffed up, and went to jail like a man. Okay? But, on the other hand, let's not get it twisted. Officer Porter here, she really has some culpability in this instance too. She got flustered. She saw that there was a situation going on, and she made a knee-jerk reaction, and she pulled her gun instead of pulling her taser, and it cost a young man his life. And she deserves probably to go to jail for a little while, just to sit and think about, man, I made a terrible mistake. But saying that she murdered him is just ridiculous. All right, that's it, guys. I'm out.